How are these guys getting through the cracks? How can we stop it? Joining me now, House Intelligence Committee member, Representative Chris Stewart. Representative Stewart, this is just so infuriating. We find time after time after time that at some point the West had these bad, evil people in their grasp. They knew something was wrong, and they stopped watching them.
Yeah, you know, it just shows the enormity of the challenge that they have. It's not like they're trying to watch a couple dozen or even a couple hundred. There's thousands of these individuals in France and throughout Europe that they know have been radicalized. Many of them have traveled to these war-torn parts of the world, to Iraq, to Afghanistan, to Syria, and then been able to come back into Europe, and in this case into France. And there's just no possible way for them to monitor all of them. It's just nearly an impossible task.
But with all due respect, when you have a terror suspect who you're making check-in weekly, and he skips 2 or 3 of these check-ins, if that was someone on parole, we'd issue out a warrant for their arrest or something. I mean, I get the money part, I get the manpower part. I can't buy it 100%, and I don't think the American public can. How many people in America have gone to Syria and come back? I would think that's a relatively small pool of people. Why can't we stay on top of them?
Well, look, I'm not excusing this. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that this is acceptable because it's a challenge. I'm just trying to explain that they have dug themselves a hole, and I mean Europe, that I don't know how they dig themselves out of this thing, because they have so many into their countries now. The visa program allows them to travel with impunity throughout all of Europe. Surprisingly and dangerously, it allows them, once they're in Europe, to come to the United States. So please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying, well, it's a big problem, therefore we can accept failures. I'm just trying to indicate this is a huge challenge, and they have got to do better. And frankly, the United States has got to do better, because once again, they can go from Europe here to the United States, which is why so many of us this week have been talking about the Syria refugee program, because they have said, ISIS has said, we're going to use that refugee program to infiltrate terrorists into the U.S.
Well, what sense of urgency are you finding now within the House Intelligence Committee, and what specific changes do you think might be put through now that you've got a wind in your sails, now that the American public is demanding it?
Well, I think there's a couple things that are very troubling to us. One of them is the encryption. We know that in a few years, these terrorist cells will be able to communicate with impunity, with complete anonymity. They can do it in a secure means that we won't be able to know at all who they're talking to, nor what they're saying. That's one of the things we've really tried to work with the White House and with private companies as well to really make some changes at. Very frustrating we haven't been able to do that at this point. The other is the visa waiver program. I mean, once again, they can come once they're in Europe, they can come to the U.S. We sent a letter to the president just yesterday saying we need to tighten the restrictions on this visa waiver program, and we really need to understand that this could endanger U.S. citizens if we allow it to continue the way it is.
Representative Stewart, thank you very, very much, and we hope you come back soon with some good news, because everybody's on edge here, and we should be.
Well, you know, it's just a dangerous world, but wouldn't it be great to talk about something positive? I look forward to that.
Well, so do I. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.